Hey everybody, welcome to episode 7, I believe it is, of My Car Shop on the 47 Ford project. I wanted to show you the tail light that I did all the fabricating on yesterday and show you how that turned out. This is the wrong one. There we go. It's this one. So yeah, it turned out really nice. I'm going to hold it up here. You can see how I haven't sanded this or anything. The patch turned out beautifully and everything looks good there. It's very nice. Got a nice little satin finish, which doesn't mean anything, but overall I think everything looks really good here. Very, very pleased with this. I'll show you the other one. Not going to get to do any painting today. The shop is 50 degrees. I can't get any warmer than that without my furnace. It's really windy again today, but the temperature today is considerably colder. So not going to be doing any spraying of paint today, but you can see how good that looks. Everything is just outstandingly smooth. So I'm going to start doing some hand sanding, work on about, I think I'll start with 320 dry and see how that works. With 320 on these little parts, I can probably get away with just basically clearing it. On the bumper X, I'll take you over there in a minute and we'll look at that. On the bumperette, we will probably go 400, maybe 600. We'll see how that looks. Don't want any scratches coming up through the base coat showing into the clear. It is low on the car, so it's not as crucial as a roof or a side panel where everything is gotta be flawless. But still, I want it to look primo quality. Obviously, you can see by the look of the car, this is no slouch. It's super straight. I spent a lot of time on this thing, making sure that I got the body straight. By no means is it perfect, but it's one of the better jobs I've done. Not the best, but balancing out the value of the car with the time in it, that kind of stuff. So overall, I think it looks good. It's good and straight, and it needs to be sanded and wheeled one more time. There might be some color blend spots that will need to be touched up. We'll see what it looks like once the front fenders are on it. Obviously, we want things to look good, so that's a ways out, obviously. But anyway, so today I'm going to be sanding on that. So let's take you over and let you look at the rear bumper cover and or the rear bumper. I don't know why I keep calling it a bumper cover. We'll look at the rear bumper and then we'll get into watching me sand. Doesn't that sound exciting? Okay, so you can see here how smooth and straight and everything this is. Going to be real careful because the thing that you're going to see on this is if you're coming, when this is on the car, let's see if I can find my finger, when you're looking at this, if there's any waves in there at all, it's going to really show because of this long straight surface, even though it's not very wide. So any imperfections this way isn't going to really, unless they're massive, they're not going to show, but it's that length stuff. You want that to be like a mirror, otherwise it's going to look really bad on there. Now I can already tell you that it pretty much is, so I don't need to do any hard blocking on this. I just have to do some soft pad blocking because I'm not trying to cut it straight. I'm just trying to scuff it down so the paint will stick to it. But I do have to be careful. I don't want to get carried away with a soft pad because I can create imperfections and then put waves in it. So there you go. One little side note for people who aren't familiar with cars in depth. You'll see people see a car that has waves in it and they'll say, oh, that car's full of Bondo, look at all the waves. No, what that car is full of is crappy bodywork. If Bondo's done right, you can't tell it's there. It's as smooth as can be. Crappy Bondo work means it's too thick and so forth, but what most people say, oh, that's a Bondo bucket, it actually may be that they just didn't block it enough and there may not even be any Bondo in it. Board sanding with a long 18-inch board sander, pneumatically and by hand, is the only way to get these things straight, and waves mean crap bodywork. Doesn't have anything to do with Bondo necessarily. So little tidbit for today. All right, let's get into this project. Okay, I went over it with 320. I'm really happy with it. I went over it with the Scotch-Brite. I'm going to leave it at that. For these small pieces, I think it's going to be good. I checked the straightness of the bumper, and it's as straight as can be. I don't feel any imperfections in it at all. There was a couple ripples on one end. Got smooth out of there. So I went over everything with a Scotch-Brite. It's ready to paint. So the next step for me today is I'm going to go back and open up my paint and see what I got. The stuff has been in the barn here for about 8 years, not open. It's still shaking, so I'm sure that the solids are just stuck in the bottom, and I'll just have to spend a long time stirring it up. Like I said yesterday, it'd be great if I had a shaker, but I don't. So that's the next step. It's supposed to be cold all week, but if this wind dies down, the shop will warm up to about 60 and I can paint. That's still a little cool. But I'm not going to hold back too much, especially for the little stuff. If it was big panels, I wouldn't be painting in this temperature. I'd be getting propane for the furnace somehow. But I think with this little heater here blowing pretty much down on stuff, we're going to be okay. And not today, like I said, but we'll go from there. So let's go check out that paint. Okay, so here's what we've got. I have a pint of the base coat here. That's great. I mean, it's just like it was when I put the lid back on it probably 10 years ago, believe it or not. This gallon here has got, it's good. It's a little thick. I mean, some of the solvents have evaporated out, which is no surprise because the can was half empty. But what the real surprise is this here is not gone solid. So with reducer, this can be used. I've used stuff like that before. It'll be a last resort if I have to, but that would work for touch-up and blending. One of the problems I had was this was the first gallon of paint that I bought, and a gallon should have more than done this entire car, but I let the paint guy that I was using at the time talk me into going away from a brand name paint that I was familiar with into this Metalux stuff. And it was supposed to have the same amount of solids in it as the DuPont Chroma Base and blah, blah, blah. And it was half the price. Well, I should have known better than anything that's half the price is going to be half as quality. So what should have taken me a gallon has taken me a gallon and a half to do what I've done up till now. And it's going to be touch and go, I think. But for doing the little pieces that I have there, it'll be fine. And doing the grill and stuff, I think that pint is probably going to do all of that. So I'm hoping that this half a gallon here that I've got left, a little less than a half a gallon, is going to be enough to do the fenders and the hood. I'm sure I have enough to do the fenders, the grill, the two bumperettes, the tail lights. The question will be whether or not I have enough to do the hood as well. The other thing is the clear coat right here is still very good. Although I have a gob of other clear around here if I need it. I believe I have the solvent for that clear around somewhere. I don't even know if I can buy that Metalux anymore around here, but I've been a DuPont guy since I was working in the rod shop when I was in college, and I've tried them all. Sherwin-Williams is good. I do not like PPG stuff. I just like the DuPont. It sprays the best. I about put it on with a garden hose and it doesn't run. Sherwin-Williams is about as good. This Metalux stuff doesn't run. It works okay, but it doesn't cover worth a crap. So anyway, that's my 2 minutes and 41 seconds on the base coat, and I got to look and see if I have the reducer for the clear coat. That's the base coat reducer, and that's the clear coat there. So somewhere around here, there's a there should be some clear coat reducer, but if not, I've got at least a quart of DuPont clear coat. So okay, I was just looking around here, and these are from some customer projects that I did. My daughter's car. There's some Eclipse red there. This is clear coat from a GMC truck that I did. There's a little more clear coat there, so I've got plenty of clear coat, and I've got the Chroma Base 4-to-1 reducer for that. So I'm good. The only thing I'm really lacking is paint prep, and I'm bummed about that, but I may see if I can order a quart online. I'm sure I'll pay out the nose for it, but I'll see if I can get some of that. I'm still looking to see if I have the reducer for the clear coat or the hardener for the clear coat. So I'll keep digging. Seek and ye shall find. There it is. So I did have it. We're good to go on that too. I got to go back and remember what all the mixing ratios are and stuff on this stuff. Okay, so that's going to be a wrap for today. The paint is good. I got to get online and do some research because the cans don't say what the mixing ratios are. So I got to sort that out. But huge relief. I was really stressing last night when I realized that the divider bars that go here for the vent wing windows, I had no idea where they were. When I finished doing the paint over there, I went upstairs and dug around in places I thought they might be, didn't find them. And then over near where the stairway is, I had a few 47 parts. This is where I found the window regulators for the front door, and I found one. So I was like, well, if one's here, the other one's got to be here somewhere. So I kept thinking, I got a whole bunch of A-body Mopar trim over there on that side, laying on a seat covered up with a tarp. And so I went over and dug through all of that, and lo and behold, I found the other one. Whew! Not that I can't get that stuff, but you know, I have it. I don't want to have to spend money I don't have to. So very relieved on that. I got online last night and priced out the windows, the door window seal kits. I can't get away with reusing what I have here, and I don't want to because those doors open and close, and I'm not cutting any corners on that. I want the windows to go up and down good. So about $300 for the front doors. And the other thing that I'm missing right here on both sides before I put the glass in is the little levers that lock the vent wing windows. And I believe they sell those as a kit, so I can put new ones in here, but I need to do that obviously before I put the glass in. So I'm hoping soon I'll be able to order the door window seal kit, and I got to get on Bob Drake's website or give him a call and see if he has the little latches for those as well, the repair kits. So starting to come together. I really am frustrated that the weather is what it is today. I am so ready to spray that stuff and get it based and cleared, but there's a lot of work to do out here yet, so maybe tomorrow will be the day for that. We'll see. I got to do some cleaning, get the floor clean so I'm not stirring dust when I spray that, and a little cleanup, cover a bunch of stuff up. Well, but anyway, we're getting there, and so little by little, I am just so glad I found this. So that's going to call it a day on this episode of My Car Shop. And thanks for joining again. I appreciate you following the progress. Rock on.